I'm going to be comparing the National Lampoon's franchise to the It franchise. With this actually started off with the book written by Stephen King, who's a well-known horror writer, really one of the most famous. With National Lampoon, you have a bunch of these comedy movies, whereas with It, you only have two movies. There's also a mini-series, yes, but that's not actually a movie. To be clear, I've only seen one of the National Lampoon movies, that being National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, whereas I haven't seen either of the It movies. And when it comes to the highest score for each franchise, in the case of It, the highest score is a 85% for the 2017 movie titled It. When it comes to National Lampoon, highest score would be a 94% for National Lampoon's Reunion, which came out right after a movie called National Lampoon's Class Reunion. Pretty similar titles there, that is for sure. The National Lampoon wins here. Then when you look at lowest score, ooh, yikes. With National Lampoon, they put out over 20 movies at this point, and six of them have a 0%. Ooh, oh man, not good. When it comes to the movie It Chapter 2 only has a 62%. That's the lowest score, so it easily wins this round. Then when you look at average score, National Lampoon, pretty low average. You have just a few movies in there that are either fresh on Rotten Tomatoes or got really good reviews. A lot of them actually are rotten on Rotten Tomatoes. So this one is not particularly consistent. National Lampoon only has an average of 28. By contrast, when you look at It, you got an average of 73.5. So it wins here. Then when you look at gap between lowest and highest score, with It, you only have a gap of 23. With National Lampoon, pretty big gap, 94%. So it wins again, meaning the It franchise will win this debate no matter my personal opinion, because it's already won 3 of the rounds. Now, I think National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation is a really funny movie. I enjoy that one, seeing this pretty dumb guy who just keeps hitting himself or injuring himself. I think it's very entertaining seeing the Griswold family trying to celebrate Christmas, seeing how dumb Clark is, and the Griswold family trying to celebrate the holidays while having everyone in the family come over, even though the family members are pretty different from each other, especially Cousin Eddie, who causes all kinds of trouble. Especially when he drains all this sewage into a pipe. All this human feces into a pipe. That's pretty funny. Or what happens later on with the cat that ends up getting killed. Or the way that Clark Griswold clashes with his snooty neighbors, these two people who are so annoyed by the Griswolds because the Griswolds keep causing them trouble. Especially when, like, a beam crashes through their window and they're just so mad that one of them punches the other in the face. Or you get to the end of the movie and it's so funny of Cousin Eddie kidnapping this business executive. Clark was mad about not getting a bonus, so he was like, hey, how about we take this guy over here and teach him a lesson? Cousin Eddie took that literally and brought the guy over, thus he kidnapped him, and so the police come over. And Clark is like, oh, okay, this is actually a big misunderstanding. I didn't mean for it to go this far. I said some things out of anger I shouldn't have. And then the movie ends with the Griswolds and even the police actually celebrating Christmas as well. I definitely enjoy it. When it comes to It seems to me like both of these movies did a good job of delivering what fans of It would want from one of these movies. It definitely seems to me like the miniseries isn't as well regarded by a lot of people. Feels like, oh, it's trying to tell this big epic story with a really small budget, with a TV budget, and that causes problems. Overall, I would definitely say that the It franchise is better, just is more consistent. Of course, part of that is there haven't been anywhere near as many It movies. There's only 2 It movies plus a mini-series, whereas of National Lampoons, you're talking about, well, over 20 movies. And also, comedy is one of those things that is subjective. And some of the National Lampoon movies, to be just based on the title or what I've seen about them, come off as trashy, frankly. pretty pretty adult. So I think this one is not hard at all. And one of the advantages that it has going for it for sure is that you got one of the best horror writers, Stephen King, writing a story, and so you have great source material to work with, whereas if National Lampoons, they don't have a similar kind of source material. That'll wrap things up for this video.